Critter Protectors, Mr. Jim here, and welcome to Kids Animal Stories, a place where there's always a mystery and adventure around every single corner. If you love critters of all shapes and sizes, I need you on our Critter Protector team. Join our adventure as we learn about critters from around the world and in our backyards. Well, my friends, are you ready for today's adventure? Me too! Let's go! On the last episode, we saw that David the clapper-rail bird just had one of the scariest encounters of his life. A red-tailed hawk tried its best to swoop down and eat his family. Oh dear, that would not have been good. Thankfully, clapper rails have feathers of all different shades of colors. They have some brown and gray mixed together. This color blends perfectly into the tall grasses that are near the Gulf Coast of Mexico. With the scary encounter behind him, David was left now with a big dilemma. He was supposed to meet up with some new friends and have them over to his home for dinner, but he had missed the time they planned to meet him. Oh, what are my new friends going to think? Will they even still be there waiting for me? David said to Isabel with his chicks. If they're still waiting, will they think I just made up a story and lied, or I hope they didn't get scared off by that hawk? David was so disappointed. Have you ever felt really disappointed? Yeah, it can be hard sometimes to look on, the bright side when you're so sad about something. Isabel tried to cheer him up. Oh, come on, it's not so bad. You haven't even gone to see if they're still waiting. I'm sure they will understand. I guess you're right. David was feeling a tiny bit more hopeful and started off down the edge of the marsh. He walked slower than normal. You'd think he'd be rushing there, but he was getting some butterflies on top of butterflies in his tummy. Have you ever felt butterflies in your tummy? Maybe you feel nervous about something and your tummy just starts acting silly? Yeah, that is what he's feeling right now. Deep breaths, David. Deep breaths. They're only clapper rails just like us. Yeah, they'll understand. David tried to talk himself out of this icky feeling that he felt inside as he thought out loud. Just as he rounded the corner, he saw his new friends off in the distance. They're still there. He picked up his pace and waved his wing. Ray! Sarah! Chicks, it's me, David! I'm coming, just hold on a second! David shouted, but as he tried to finish his sentence, he fell flat on his face. David had tripped in a small hole, and he went flying, but not in a good way. Oh, just what I needed. That was so embarrassing. David picked himself up off the ground and tried to shake off the sand. When he got to the birds, they all tried to hold back their giggles. David started to laugh too. It was pretty funny the way he slipped, and he wasn't hurt, just a little embarrassed. Oh, well, sorry about all that. I didn't make it on time to meet you all. You see, there was this huge red hawk circling my family, and so I had to protect them, and we hid in this bush back there, and it took a long time for it to leave. Oh my, that is terrible, said his new friend Sarah. We're so glad that you're okay, said Ray. Once a red-tailed hawk almost had my sister and I for dinner. We were in the water, so we had to dive down underneath the water to escape, said Sarah. Holy smokes! Wow, clapper rails can swim underwater? Have you ever seen a bird swim in the water before? It's like they flap their wings like they're flying, but instead they're swimming through the water. It's pretty amazing. But David was so relieved that his new friends didn't seem too upset, and they definitely believed what happened. David led his new friends back to his home, and they all enjoyed a beautifully delicious dinner together. They laughed, told stories about where they were from, and realized they had a lot in common, even though they weren't from the same area. Meanwhile, all the baby chicks ran around and played together.
"Tag, you're it!"
called Pete as he chased Sarah and Ray's chicks around the nest. They all laughed and had so much fun together. "You know, I think we're gonna like it here," Ray said as he watched the kids play. "Yes, it feels like home already," said Sarah. As the night winded down, the families went down to the ocean edge for a late night stroll. David thought about his day as he took some fresh sips of salt water. Wait, hold on, he drank the salt water? Oh yeah, clapper rails have an amazing ability to drink salt water, the ocean, because they have salt glands. These glands help pull the salt out of the water, making it safe for them to drink. Because, me and you, we should definitely not be drinking any ocean water. That would hurt us. After talking very late into the night, all the babies had snuggled up and fallen asleep on the little sandy patch near the shallow water. Soon, David and Isabel said goodbye to Ray and Sarah. They all scooped up their babies onto their backs, that's pretty silly, and started walking back to their own homes. As Isabel and David headed back to their nest, they talked about the day. "Wow, what a day full of emotions," Isabel said. "You're telling me? I felt so nervous this morning meeting some new birds, but it was actually exciting to get the nest ready for visitors. But then the red-tailed hawk, oh, that was frightening. And the disappointment you felt when you weren't sure your new friends were still waiting for you?" Isabel chimed in. "Yeah, what a relief when they were still there, and they even believed my story," David said. As the baby chicks grew, so did their new friendship. Both families did everything together. They protected their babies together, went out to catch food in the water together, and even taught their little ones how to take care of themselves. It was then that David realized there's nothing quite like having good friends. Have you ever had some new neighbors move into where you live? Yeah, maybe in your neighborhood or in your building. Oh yeah, I love making new friends. And it looks like this clapper rail family has found their new best friends. The end. We'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Great job, you listened all the way to the end, and you know what time it is. It's time for some Critter Protector shout-outs. I want to say hey to Audrey from North Carolina, Andy from Alberta, Canada, William and Andrew from New Hampshire, Eric from Cyprus, Lennon from Canada, Delilah from Massachusetts, Arnav from Denver, Colorado, and Lennox and Leo from Pennsylvania. I'm so glad that you're all critter protectors. We could not protect all the critters without you, my friends. Well, you have a super duper day, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Bye!